Hey dudes and chicks, and neither of those rules don't apply to you. Welcome to Make for Last Time. My name is Katie. Today, I am going to be doing an episode of Hump It or Dump It, where I tell you what new releases I think you should swipe right on and what releases I think you should swipe left on, or more like what I would swipe right on or what I would swipe left on, and whether or not I would like go all the way, or if I would just go out on a date, or maybe text, or maybe let them send me a message, or maybe just take dollars out of their hands when I walk by. So if you guys are interested in hearing what I have to say about the new makeup releases, then just hang out. Okay, let me get on my trusty phone where I'm not to be trusted at all. Like if I get a text or an email pops up or something like that, a new launch comes up, a new video of something that I'm interested in, then you can just say fucking goodbye to me. Okay, so I'm gonna start with the Melt and Bailey Sarian collab. It's called Fatally Yours. It's got 3 liquid lipsticks in a set, 4 bullet lipsticks that you can get in a set and separately, a cute purse or bag. It's not a purse. Honestly, if this bag was actually I don't think this bag could actually even hold my phone. So it wasn't even a consideration for me because I literally loathe makeup bags, but I actually don't think this is big enough for me to put my phone in. Maybe just my phone, I'm not sure, but it's definitely not big enough to put the collection in, so with the palette. So there's 2 gel liners and 2 liquid glitter snot, like one's called Boom Slime and one's called Wisteria. That's what it is. And then it's got a palette. Now, I have the palette. I posted on Instagram asking you guys if you really gave a fuck about this launch or not, because I really love the color story, and also it's an all matte palette by Melt. Also, it's a collab, so I'm sure that the quality is going to be really good. So I posted it on Instagram. It was like basically double as many people wanted to see it as didn't. I was actually, a lot of people, there wasn't a ton of people that didn't want to see it, which is what I thought. I thought a lot of people wouldn't care about this launch, but a lot of people did and very few people didn't. So I have the palette on the way and the color Wolfsbane coming, because the Wolfsbane color is actually like my old school Whore Red. Now, what I've heard is that it's really dry and that it's hard to put on, but we'll just see what I think about it. So I have those 2 things coming. They already shipped, and I do want to say that I love the fact that it's an all matte palette. They didn't waste any fucking shades with their shit formula, and this is probably going to be really good. Also, I'm going to say what I've seen of its performance, it hasn't looked very blendable. So I'm sure that I'm going to make this palette my bitch, and you might hear me cursing. So we'll see. I could be wrong. Menagerie came out with our new Arthurine eyeshadow palette. It's a fall color story. No, it's a Christmas launch. It's already launched with our new holographic multichrome moonlit metal toppers and Black Friday steals. Did I miss the fucking boat on this? Well, it looks like it's the Christmas launch, so it's probably already been up. I highly doubt it's sold out. It's a fall color story, so it's like wants to be a Christmas color story, except it's orange. Anyways, it looks like there's a sweet like goldy green dingy shimmer. This doesn't look exciting to me at all, and it actually looks like a big fat snooze. But I do know there are people that I know and love and respect their opinion who have already ordered it. So I love that for you. It doesn't look interesting to me. That color story is over for me. NBA Cosmetics released, and it has been launched for a while, the Mystic Moon Quad. I think they're about 50, I think they're $52.50 for the foreshadows. They look beautiful. I'm probably gonna get them. So the way my PR works is that I can order whatever I want within a certain amount. And so I'm probably gonna get it and then pay the difference. So I totally think that these are worth the money. I think they're beautiful and I'm excited about them. So that's probably what my PR from NBA is going to be for this month. So there's 2 quads. There's the Enchanted Moon, and one of them is like a blue, a peach, a gray, and a pink, and the other one is 2 purples, a peach, a coral, and then like a greenish yellow aquamarine. And so I'm gonna get the Mystic Moon quad, not the Enchanted Moon quad. Yeah, as I said, they're already available, and I'm pretty sure they're $52.50 for a quad. Okay, the Machina palette was launched. It's old news. However, I also posted this on Instagram, whether or not people were interested in seeing a video of this. I really like the color story and I could have done with or without it, but if you guys wanted to see it, I wanted to have it for you. And so I do have this on the way. It will be here in a couple days. I love the color story and I have a feeling that these shimmers are going to be next level for Blend Bunny. So I'm excited about that. Apparently the story is that she made this with her dad and it's supposed to be like, and I call it Machina because I've heard it pronounced both ways. And if you Google the word Machina or Machina, it's a Spanish word and that's how it's pronounced. And so I'm not sure that this is a Spanish word because Machina in Spanish means, oh no, noun machina. So it's hard to tell because it's supposed to be a mixture of like machines and humans. It seems like machina would be right on, but I've heard it pronounced machina and that is Spanish, sorry. Machina noun is machine, siege engine or scheme. So it could be either, I guess. So it's up in the air. I actually messaged Blend Bunny to see if they could let me know what the correct pronunciation of that is, but they didn't answer. So she will answer, I'm sure of it. Well, I don't know, the entity that is Blend Bunny, usually the woman who owns it is the one who responds to my messages. So I'm sure that she'll respond to me at some point. I just don't know when. She's pretty fucking great. I've grown to really respect her as a content creator with her vulnerability and her integrity, the way that she presents herself in her captions on Instagram. I really like her style. So I also like her brand and I also like the quality of her products. Like, so good. We already know that. Saints, Angels, Sinners created a while back. And so I'm friends with Steph from Not Your Basic Steph. Really pretty good friends actually. And she did a collaboration with Saints, Angels, Sinners. I haven't really known what's been going on with it. And I think that they're actually getting the palettes right now. Now, I did not know how to use this color story. It's strange. The matte color story is unusual and I can't see any way to make it work until I saw Steph do pictures of the way that she envisioned it when she created the color story, and she actually used it column by column. So the one matte shade is supposed to work with the rest of the column. And so when I saw those looks, I was like, oh my God, these are beautiful. And she was like, dude, I did the column by column on my palette. And I was like, oh my God, that really makes a lot of sense. And also the individual colors in this, literally alien green, vivid lavender, lilac, we'll call it. Vivid lilac, killer mustard to the orangey side, the dingy orange to mustard. There's a black, there's a teal, dingy looking, and then there's a kind of a pink-based maroon. So all individual colors that I love, and then there's literally 18 shifty shimmers. I was supposed to get this in PR and I'm not sure that I am going to because I've been kind of out of the loop. And so I'm not sure. Either way, this is a swipe right for me. It's fucking beautiful. Honestly, I was on the fence about this brand because I didn't know. I had to think so hard about what I wanted to do about it that it just got tiresome for me. And so I don't know if I'm going to be getting it in PR. It doesn't matter to me whether I do or not. This is a swipe right for me and I don't know if I'm gonna actually be able to get it, but I would get it. It looks beautiful and Steph is my friend. On top of the fact that the way that she presented it on her Instagram page, which is also Not Your Basic Steph, made it look pretty fucking irresistible. So Louise came out with the If Looks Could Chill and I was stoked about it because it's got a drawer, it's a all blue palette, it's a monochromatic palette. Now, I love all monochromatic palettes, the bigger the better. I just do. I don't know why this appeals to me, but it just does. Also, I'm so grateful that they wiped away the brown that's in the Michaela, and this is in their budget box. They do swatches on Instagram of the shimmer shadows, and they are super shifty and super cute. They are fucking adorable. And the royal blue, the deep blue shimmers are like that shit. Like, we love that shit. We're all about that. And I feel like P. Louise's shimmer formula is just getting better and better and better. Now, I watched a video by Karen Harris and she actually like kind of talked shit about this because she said exactly what I just said, only the opposite opinion, and I totally respect it and agree with her. She was like, I feel like a lot of people are like, what the fuck? Why would P. Louise come out with an all blue palette when they just released the Kayla J collaboration? It doesn't really make any sense. And why would anyone want a huge monster size monochromatic blue palette like this? And so I agree with that. So honestly, I'm on the fence about this, but if I was subscribed to the budget boxes, I would be excited as shit that I was getting this. So I'm not saying that I will or won't get this, but I really like it. So maybe we could just be friends. Glamsmitty and Shine by SD Cosmetics did a collaboration, and it's called Forest Hues Mystic Dreams. The launch date was on the 3rd, and I love it. It looks beautiful. I love the theme. This is a swipe left for me just because it is. Shine by SD isn't really my thing. Glamsmitty's great, but like I really, for an all shimmer palette, I would probably rather have, I don't know. It just doesn't appeal to me. It appealed to me enough for me to put it on my Hump It or Dump It, but it doesn't appeal to me enough to actually get it. Now, if I see a video or if I see somebody using it, I'm sure Bad to the Brow got it. I'm sure she's going to display it in such a way that's going to make it look like you fucking want it. There is one blue to purple shifter in there, but quite frankly, I've got a palette sitting right in front of me that will rock your shit, like shift your whole world, like tectonic plate shifters. So you know what I mean? It's just not one of my brands, so it's a swipe left. Okay, I need to tread lightly about this one because I know that there are some people that love this collab already, but you guys know, it's like, why doesn't, when it comes to themes, Glamlite never hits the mark for me. Just never. It's always missing the G-spot. It's like, after a while, you're just like, you know what? Get off me. I'll fucking do it myself. That's basically how I feel about Glamlite. Now, I'm not into Scooby-Doo. I got a Notoriously Morbid palette by Scooby-Doo, and I featured it and I made a look out of it, and the color story wasn't necessarily my jam, and the theme wasn't necessarily my jam, but I got it in PR and I displayed it and I featured it, and a lot of people loved it. So Scooby-Doo is not my jam, but one of my subscribers was like, dude, that Scooby-Doo palette is on sale and you need to get those motherfuckers because they are good. And she made sure that I got them, and they ended up being like blowing my mind. Now, I have been disappointed by Glamlite since then. I haven't really seen anything. I got the Chucky palette because it was like, it was something I could relate to. And then they did an entire series of horror films, and they basically they kind of followed suit. And so it was like, at that point, the novelty of the Chucky palette kind of wore off because they made so many in the series that like it kind of took away the like the specialness, or like it kind of was a novelty, and then it went away because they did so many. And now they're doing Garfield, which, like I said, I'm going to tread lightly, but I just think that this is not cool at all. But one of my good friends thinks it's very fucking cool, and she was like, oh my god, I love Garfield. So I'm not going to talk any more shit about this than what I just said. I'm going to say that Laura Mercier sucks. I literally hate Laura Mercier. And Givenchy, I've never tried anything from. Literally don't give two fucks and a shit about this brand. However, they both just started teasing or revealed their 2024 Year of the Dragon launches. And so neither one of these appeals to me. It's not something I'm going to buy, but I am definitely at the edge of my seat waiting for Year of the Dragon collections because I'm a fucking dragon and I am all about dragons. Like, that is my spirit animal. I am totally into it. So Laura Mercier revealed this is a dump, but it's like a powder. Of course it is a powder. Come up with a new product, Laura. And like some lippies, or maybe those are eye crayons, and then a pressed, like, is that a highlighter? What's going on? A loose setting powder, a blush contour, and a mini rose glow caviar stick, multi-use stick, so you can do anything. So I was dead spot on by saying that I can't tell if that's a lip product or an eye product because it's interchangeable. You could use them on both. So way to bore us to tears, Laura, by coming out with a Red Dragon fucking setting powder. It's the new millennium. It's actually 2023. Come up with something new, please. Just kidding. That was a little harsh. Laura, I don't know you as a person. I'm sure you're really great. But are you? If the measure of your product is the measure of your personality, then I think you need to take my course. Could somebody plug my course to Laura Mercier, please, before she dies of boredom? NYX has already revealed their new spring 2024 launches. And honestly, I like NYX. I think it's a really good affordable brand. I don't like any of their palettes, but I use a lot of their products as like my staples, my brow products, eyeliners. Well, not anymore, but just whatever. You know what I mean? I think they're a really good affordable brand. And they're usually pretty edgy, pretty hip. The only reason why I'm mentioning this is there's like a whole bunch of shit. There's the lip oils, Pro Fix Stick Concealer, Marshmallow Setting Spray, Jumbo Lash, which are literally miniature lashes to me. I guess not so jumbo to me. And Duck Plump Gloss. Duck Plump? What? I'm not sure. Oh, okay, I get it. Okay, that makes sense. That wasn't as dumb as I thought it was for a second there. And then Line Loud Lip Liner. Okay, so Teresa Mulhern was just talking about how they just expanded their lip liner, expanded their color range or whatever. And so they just launched I think there was 8 new shades and they did look pretty good. And I've never tried, oh wait, that's not true. I have tried NYX lip liners and they seem like pretty hard to apply, but I think I might have just tried the wrong line. This looked interesting to me when I saw Teresa Mulhern's YouTube short on it. The only reason why I actually saved this was because I just saw somebody else doing a new makeup releases and I don't know what she was actually talking about, but she talked so much shit about the fact that people are already doing their spring launches when we haven't even had Christmas yet. I concur. Okay, here's the Chantecaille. I mean, that's a French word, so it's got to be Chantecaille. Limited edition Year of the Dragon lip chick. So it's basically like a red lipstick with a red dragon on a golden case, and I'm sure it's $150. Oh, it's $52 with hyaluronic acid. So okay, we're probably not going to get that. But dude, I literally want to jump on this Year of the Dragon bandwagon. So can somebody cool please create a launch? Unearthly, please create something for the Year of the Dragon launch. Notoriously Morbid, please create a launch for the Year of the Dragon. People that I actually like, please. I'm a dragon. I don't know what these are called. Wait, Isamaya. Isamaya has those dick lipsticks. You guys know which ones I'm talking about. And they just released 6 new shades of sheer lipstick balm. Now in a refillable format, which means you can just keep the dick and put the refill in there, I'm guessing. Keep the dick and get rid of what's inside. That's perfect. I wish I could have done that with my ex. Anywhoosies, what it says is new shades inspired by flowers. And I just thought it looks to me like it's inspired by dicks. So yeah, I just have to say that's a hard pass. I really just put it on here because I think it's hilarious. All of these are pretty much hard passes. I don't know. I might jump on some of those NYX things, but like the Laura Mercier, the Givenchy, the fucking Glamlite, Garfield, come on. Who are they trying to fucking fool here? I don't know. There's a lot of people who are into like Minnie Mouse collabs, Garfield collabs, Peanuts collabs, things that remind them of their childhood, but like that wasn't my childhood. Like my childhood didn't look anything like that. And honestly, even if they had like okay, so I was like Transformers, Gem, anything girly, Smurfs. So even if they did one of those, I probably still wouldn't get the collab. I think this is Gourmande Girls. Let me see. Yeah, Gourmande Girls did a collab with Doodlesbybunny, whom I love. And actually, I have a love-hate relationship with Doodlesbybunny because she creates palettes that are better than everybody else's palettes in the whole world. And then you go, oh, that palette doesn't exist. What the fuck? why doesn't she create a brand, right? Because like her color stories are like so good, and then you're like, oh, that doesn't actually exist. That actually isn't available for purchase. It's only available to put in the spank bank when you're rubbing one out at night. So anyway, Doodles by Bunny did a collab with Gourmande Girls. It's the Silent Night collab. I'm not really into Gourmande Girls, and I'm also not really into this color story. It's nice. It's blue and yellow, brown, blue, yellow, brown. It's okay. It's not like terrible or whatever. The shifts look really pretty. I'm not into it. I don't think the color story is for me, and also neither is Gourmande Girls. I want to talk about this, and I have very little information. Everything seems unclear. What I think I know, and I was just going to actually message Nina and ask her, but I think I know that Lele Posh is launching an Arcana Part 2, and there's a ton of shit in it. It's not a small collection, and will set off our revised branding as to who we are and what direction we are moving to. Please be patient. Manufacturing, packaging, and hand-making magic is a marathon, not a race. It's worth the wait, I promise. Everybody knows that about Lele Posh. So if I can, I will be on this motherfucker, and it's probably gonna be a while, so I have some time to plan for it, but this is like one of those things that I definitely want to jump on, and I'd like to be in the position when it launches to jump on it without even looking at it, because I honestly don't know what the color story. She has teased out a couple of the shades. I don't care what the shades are. I know they're going to be good. I know it's going to be a cool fucking launch, and I also know that if I get it and use it on my social media, that people are going to dig the fuck out of it. And also, I love Nina. She is the solid good shit. So I love being part of the Lele Posh fam. In fact, one time I told her, I was like, dude, I really wish that I would have been in a position this whole time to be more supportive of your brand. And she was like, dude, you've always been Lele Posh fam. And that that's legit. I can't get enough of that. I love that for myself. I love that she thinks I'm a part of the Lele Posh fam. I have a friend, she goes by posh.vixen.33 on Instagram, and she is always on the up and up about Chinese makeup. Or, well, for the sake of me not sounding like a fucking idiot, I'm going to say Asian brands. Girl Cult, and this one I believe is called Sugarock, and they are launching a palette that is called Anti-plagiarism, and I don't really love the color story. It's like pretty neutral for me. It's got a pop of red and a pop of deep purple. The shimmers in it look amazing, but it also looks like a brand that I would love to get interested in, as I would love to get interested in Girl Cult. They're difficult to get, and you have to get a middleman buyer to purchase these brands, and I would like to get on the bandwagon with these Asian brands, and I don't know if it's Chinese or Japanese. Oh, wow, this is beautiful. Is it available for people outside China too? So I'm just going to stick with Asian because I don't know anything. I feel so intimidated by these brands, but there are a couple Asian brands that their palettes are like so good, and their actual designs on their palettes are like so compelling and just really desirable, and they're like that special. They have that specialness. And so I would just like to see what the performance is. Are they any good? The color stories from those Girl Cult launches that I got interested in a while ago. And this chick always keeps me posted on the easiest ways to get these. And she always offers her assistance to help me to purchase these things, because you have to get a middleman buyer or whatever. There's like services that they offer, which is nice, because you guys know with, you know, Sigil Inspired, it's like you have to go through the fucking gauntlet to get those motherfuckers. So Glamlite is teased out a Kiss collaboration for early winter of 2024. Am I against the fact that they're teasing out a Kiss collab for 2024? No, I think that's all right. I think that's cool that they did that. Also, I think Kiss is a pretty all-right collaboration for them to do. I'm not really into Kiss, but I'm really into people who are into Kiss. And so I appreciate Kiss as like one of the original shock rock bands, and like one of the OGs of painting their faces on stage, which I am all about that fucking stage presence life. So I think it's pretty cool. We'll see what it looks like. I'm probably not gonna get it, but I still think it's pretty cool and noteworthy, and it's mention worthy. I have always wanted to get more into fingernail polish on this channel. I've mentioned this brand once before on one of my Hump It or Dump It's, and it is the Mooncat polishes. And I fucking want these polishes. They are amazing. They're so cool, and their brand is so cool, and the names are so cool. So they are launching an EP. I think that what they do, I don't know what EP means. I wonder if it means like an EP of 8 new shades, and the launch, the 8 shades as a group, as a collection are called, it's so good, My Inner Apocalypse, and it's their last launch of the year. They really want to finish strong. The colors all look amazing. Now these are the names of the colors: Bottled Rage, Full Scream Ahead, which they do a tease, and I'll post the picture of what the color is, but these colors are fucking so good. Mooncat polish makes me not ever want to use gel or acrylics again because the colors are so cool. I want to be a part of that. I want to be a part of what they have going on. So Full Scream Ahead, This Is a Storm Warning, Monster Under Your Head, Like a Moth to a Flame, Misery Is My Favorite Color, Nightcrawler, and Drown My Demons. This launch, this whole collection, all these colors look bomb. I'm totally all about it. I fucking think this is the themes, the colors, the brand, everything about this shit rocks my world. So I really want to get on board with this. And even if you guys don't really see anything except what's on my fingernails, I would love my fingernails to not look like this anymore and to actually look more like this, right? So I really wanted to get into Holo Taco a long time ago, and I just never did it. And I may again, you know, it's never too late. It's never too late to turn the corner. And Jessica is launching a new Singe Beauty collection. It launches on Friday, December 8th, which is day after tomorrow at noon, and it's face brushes. Now, I'm not really into face brushes. I use them sometimes. The only reason why I use them for blush. I like to use the unearthly brushes. I like to watch videos that Amanda does and see how Amanda uses her unearthly brushes so that I can put them to good use. But for the most part, I don't use brushes on my face. I use my fingers whenever I can. I use blushes for my highlighter and my blush, and I use my beauty blender as often as I can. So I'm not really interested in this, but there are 2 new eye brushes which I am very interested in, and also the original 5 eye brushes will restock in early 2024, which is a huge disappointment to me because I want those brushes so fucking bad, and they've been out of stock for a really long time. So the interesting part of this, the swipe right part, is the restock of the eye brushes, but I thought it was noteworthy because I don't really do face brushes. They do look nice. I'm sure they're really nice, and a lot of people do use brushes on their face, so my opinion means shit. e.l.f. is coming out with a new mascara. It's called Lash Xtndr, but it actually says Lash Xtndr. I was like, oh my god, is e.l.f. doing a collab with Tinder? So it caught my attention because if there's an X in anything, I will fucking fuck it. And I thought it said Tinder, so I thought it was totally appropriate. And I probably will try this because it'll be super cheap, and it looks like the wand looks good. And I'm trying to like think of like how I can integrate more affordable shit into my channel. So there. Okay, and the last thing I have is in fact, I don't even want to put this on here because I don't want to talk trash, but I cannot help myself because Martine Cosmetics, the last time I mentioned Martine Cosmetics was when I talked about how I was really bummed out because it looked like they had those smaller, they were like 5 pan or maybe, I don't know, they were small, neutral palettes that they launched, and I said, oh my god, I hope Martine, because Martine started out really unique and really different and then like launched those neutrals, and I said, oh my god, I hope that they don't turn into a boring, I hope they didn't, they must have hung out with Laura Mercier because they came out with an all brown palette with like some creams at the top and like a black in the bottom, and it's an all matte palette, and it's super boring and pretty disappointing. It's called Nano Schwan. It starts with a T. I'm pretty sure the T is silent and it says Schwan, but what do I know? I don't know when it launches or if it already did. They've posted quite a bit on their page, but I just think it's disappointing, and I was hoping that Martine was going to continue as an indie brand that was like super unique, but for all I know, they're not an indie brand. For all I know, in France, they're a mainstream brand and they're like in Ulta. I don't fucking know, but they started out really strong and really interesting, and at this point, from their like most recent launches, every single one that I've seen, I'm not sad that I missed out on their humble beginnings because their beginnings, they really started off strong. I just don't like seeing what they've become, and I hope that they get back into, you know, doing whatever. But honestly, it goes like this. So when we talk about like Kaleidos, when we talk about other Asian brands that I've been mentioning, well, those other Girl Cult and that Sugarock look pretty edgy and like super colorful, bold, blah, blah, blah. But Kaleidos kind of started out that way, and then they started moving toward this more neutral in their quads and stuff like that. And one of the things that people were always complaining about with Kaleidos was their blushes weren't pigmented enough. This wasn't pigmented enough. There wasn't a pigmented enough deepening shade like in the Flower Punk palette. That palette isn't a standalone palette for me. I have to put something in it to get that shade to be deep enough, that green. And so, but they were of the stance that like in their culture where they are, those are the exact shades. And so we don't really know what other people are doing in other cultures. But in my culture, on my channel, I'm just really disappointed that Martine has turned into some kind, like a watered down, muted version of what looked to be starting out as a really interesting indie brand. And now they're basically like just putting out neutral palettes over and over and over again. So I did go on their page and kind of scroll down a little bit to see if I was wrong, to see if they had just recently launched anything that was really interesting. And all I saw that was interesting, they still are posting those palettes on their page, but they're palettes that were in their original launches. So I guess it doesn't matter to me whether or not they pull it back around, but I thought it was worth it for me to mention that these guys are turning into a total fucking boner killer. That's all there is. There is no more. I hope you guys love this. I hope all the Garfield lovers across the world around don't dump me. You might want to swipe left on me at this point, but if you don't, then I'll see you next time. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell because you can't wait to see what happens next. Hit the like button if you like this video, or if you just like my sparkling personality and my boyish charm, and hang on in the comments because I fucking love it. If you got like halfway through this video and you're like, oh my god, she's so pretty until she opens her big fucking mouth, then check me out on Instagram. I don't talk as much on Instagram. And if you were like, don't sugarcoat it, Katie, why don't you tell us how you really feel? Because you probably weren't like that on this video, then go check out my Patreon because I don't hold anything back on my Patreon. I will be doing my 12/12 portal on 12/12. I'm not sure about the time. I'll probably post it on my community page and in my Instagram stories when I actually have locked in a time, and I will be posting the Zoom link on my Patreon page. Anyone who's a subscriber to my Patreon who's on the 666 tier will get a notification of the post, and then you just click on that Zoom link and I'll see you guys on 12/12. Thank you guys so much for watching. You could have been anywhere, but you were here wasting your time with me, and I totally appreciate you. Later. Slayer.